Acceptable Use Policy by Mary Piccirilli. An acceptable use policy is a document that outlines the responsibilities of all users on the Prince George's County Public Schools network and technology devices. It defines both acceptable and unacceptable uses of the technology and network. It also outlines consequences for those who use unacceptable uses. Users must agree to the document in order to access the network. Purpose. The purpose of the acceptable use policy is to create a set of guidelines for users of the network and the technology. It provides the users with a statement about how to use the network. It also sets a list of consequences for individuals that do not follow the acceptable use policy. It defines a code of conduct for users of the network. I am first going to go over Prince George's County Public Schools Student Acceptable Use Policy. It discusses the importance of keeping students safe while using the technology. Some of the acceptable behaviors are as following. I will not use chat lines. I will visit only those sites that are related to my schoolwork. I will respect all copyright laws by giving credit to the author. I will not intentionally destroy or alter another student's files. I will keep my password a secret. I will use appropriate language when using the computer to communicate. I will not use email or any site on the internet to hurt others in any way. I will take care of the equipment in the classroom, and I will not give out personal information. The consequences for these behaviors are restricted internet access, loss of internet access, or disciplinary action by school admin as outlined in the Student Code of Conduct. All of the Student Acceptable Use Policy can be found on the Prince George's County Public Schools website. Students can search for the AUP on the main site. The next acceptable use policy I'm going to go over is the Staff Acceptable Use Policy. This discusses the personal use must not interfere with the employee's job performance or duties, must not violate this policy, and must not damage district equipment. Some of the acceptable terms for the staff are accessing research databases and libraries, graphics, photographs, video and sound, interacting and collaborating with others, acquiring knowledge and skills to support learning objectives, publishing opportunities, and extending teaching and learning opportunities. The Staff Acceptable Use Policy is located on the Prince George's County Public Schools homepage. In order for all to understand the acceptable use policy, there's 3 people that must fully understand it. We have the staff, students, and the parents. First, we're going to go over with the staff communication. In order for the staff to understand the acceptable use policy, staff could receive professional development about the AUP. This professional development could take place during staff meetings or PLC meetings. Staff would have to read and sign the AUP to ensure they fully understand all of the different components. The district could also create a link on the school webpage for the staff to visit frequently when they have questions. The next group are the students. In order for the students to understand, staff could provide an assembly the first week of school. This could provide students with all of the necessary information to understand the acceptable use policy. Teachers could also provide weekly technology lessons for the students. And finally, students could be provided with a student-friendly version to sign. This way, all of the language is student-friendly so the students will be able to understand it. The last group are the parents. Parents could be provided with information on back to school night. They could also be provided with a link on the website to visit frequently. And schools could provide quarterly meetings about the acceptable use policy to discuss how the students are doing with the acceptable use policy. We're next going to discuss the implementation with students. As teachers, you need to take the time to model with your students what they should be doing on the computer. Teachers must model good citizenship to the students and how to appropriately use the computers. Teachers need to also make sure they monitor the students as they work on the computers and hold them to be accountable to the acceptable use policy. And finally, teachers should nominate a student to be the AUP monitor to ensure all students are following the rules as stated in the acceptable use policy. Implementation of staff. Staff could create a professional development opportunities for teachers during staff meetings and PLC meetings. Have teachers present about each section of the AUP to ensure all staff members fully understand the AUP. As you can see, the acceptable use policy is essential for all schools. In order for this to be implemented, all parents, staffs, and students need to fully understand it in order for it to be used.